And welcome everyone. It's a joy to be here with you. For those of you who don't know me, my name's Ken and I work for Face to Face Ministries, and it's a joy to be here to talk about the good, the beautiful, and the lasting. And to tell you the truth, I had a lot of struggle trying to unpack these terms, because these are terms that we use a lot, like good boy, and we had a good day, and oh, that's beautiful, and we use the word lasting, but what do those terms really mean, and how do they really apply to us in the Christian life? And I struggled with it a lot, and so I started off with what is good. And if we had a goodness meter, and it ran from the floor to the ceiling, a goodness meter, who might you put at the top, possibly? Pope Benedict XVI? Mother Teresa? Maybe a priest, a role model? Who would you put at the bottom of the goodness meter? You might put like Hitler, you might put terrorists, you might put the Toronto Maple Leafs. That's just my goodness meter. You might have a different one, I don't know. And then who would you put in the middle? Possibly, you probably put yourself. We typically don't think we're right at the top, and we typically don't think we're right at the bottom. We kind of put ourselves right in the middle, and if we're a little bit humble, we'll put ourselves just a little bit below average. And that's kind of how we gauge goodness. And we think that, well, as long as I'm good compared to everyone else, then that is good enough. And I think you probably would agree, that's the mentality of the majority of our society. Goodness, well, you just be good compared to everyone else. The problem arises is this. What happens is we are not judged at the end of life by the standard that everyone else has. We're judged by God's standards. And so if we have the standard of goodness and it's just being good compared to everyone else, well, it ends up being a little bit of a warped understanding of good. And this is the thing, if we don't have the correct understanding of good, we have no understanding of sin. Really. If we don't understand what is goodness, or better yet, who is goodness, we don't understand what sin is, what bad is, what evil is. And if you look at our society, I'm sure you would agree that we almost are not allowed to label anything as sin. We can't. And it's almost getting to the point where it's almost illegal to label anything as sin. You might be brought up on charges of hate crimes or slander or something. So what is goodness? And what happens if we don't have the correct understanding of goodness? It's interesting. With President Obama was asked by USA Today what his definition of sin was. President of the United States was asked to give his definition of sin. And he said this: sin is being out of alignment with my values. Isn't that kind of warped? The President of the United States, one of the most powerful men in the entire world, says sin is being out of line with his values. Well, that's crazy. That's crazy. And we have this understanding that goodness is sort of relative. And when we look with the eyes of faith,